You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while fearing heights and solving mysteries. Hey HBs, we're back for the final part of this epic book. Before that though, remember that this Friday our live hang is all about Stardew Valley. Get excited! I certainly am. And our bonus episode is me recapping the latest dark MM romances I've read. It's ridiculous as usual and pretty fun. I want to thank some people who chose to support us on Patreon. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Stephanie, Katie R., Alicia, Madison B., Claire, and Kaylee Rose. All right, yesterday when we left you, the whole castle was getting ready to welcome King Edward, and Jamie specifically had big plans to surprise Alec with huge declarations of love and devotion, both sartorial and in Gaelic. That's where we're jumping in. So the next day happens. They get the Great Hall together. She's excited about it. And then they're like, King Edgar's about to get here. And she's like, no! And she runs up to the room because she has to change. And then she has to call Father Murdoch in to help her with something. And like, he sees her in like her green chemise or whatever it is. And he's like, the fuck is the man of the cloth doing up there? And Father Murdoch comes back down and asks him, and he's like, oh no, I'm not going to ruin the surprise. Like, you just wait. And then just vision of visions. She opens the door and she is wearing a perfectly coiffed plaid that is in the Kincaid colors. And it's the first time he's seen her all done up, obviously, in his plaid.
Alec could do a swoon. Alec has done a swoon.
Absolutely.
Oh, my cheeks hurt from smiling so much.
I know. And then she comes down and like quintessential Jamie, she's like, now's the time. Now I'm going to get all those words of affirmation. She's like, okay. She's like gearing herself up, doing some stretches, getting ready. And he goes, you look good. But she goes, that's it? And he goes,
and?
What, you want more? Yeah. He's like, what, you want more? She says, no, I guess not. Whatever. And they're like, a bunch of guests are outside. And then one of the guests is like, actually, I came in because I've been so curious about your wife. And it's Laird Harold's son, Justin, who we've like heard about a little bit. He's a scoundrel. He's got a ton of bastard kids all over Scotland. He's a big ol' flirt. And Alec is not comfy with him being around his wife. So Alec is very pleased because Jamie decides that she should be standing next to her husband when she receives guests. And so she goes over next to him and he like locks her with his arm next to him. And he's like holding her tight
apparently, next to him. Justin is a little bit of a hottie to trot.
Yeah.
Babe magnet.
Yeah. Also that. Yeah, so he's like, a scoundrel, but also hot.
He gonna lay his claim. No. Alec's like, this is my lady. Yeah. And you gonna know it.
And Justin does not know it.
Justin's a big old fucking turd head because Justin like checking her out like head to toe. He's looking at her the way that a husband looks at a wife, not the way that
it's an earthy look.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so then everybody's like, okay, well, it's great to meet you, Justin. Shoo outside. And he's like, oh no, I think I'll stay here because I love listening to your very very intriguing accent.
She's like, it's English.
It's an English accent.
It's English, Justin.
All Scottish people hate English accents more than a nail going over glass.
One of my most favorite things is Jamie's burn. Because at one point she goes, you aren't perchance related to Laird McPherson, are you, Justin? And he's like, nay, Liddy Kincaid, I'm not related. Why would you ask such a thing? And she says, your manners remind me of the Laird. And I was like, slam.
Yeah, that's a slam. That's a slam right there. Well, and also this whole time, everybody, we haven't like made a big thing of it, but everybody's, as soon as they meet her at first, they think her name is Jane. And then when she like clarifies, they're like, but that's a man's name. And she gets really fucking pissed about it every time. But then Justin's standing there. He says that English accent thing. And she's like, get off of it. And he's like, and Jamie, it's just such a beautiful name. And she's like, it's a man's name. And that's that.
It's a man's name. So then she goes gallivanting off. He goes somewhere. And
he's talking politics.
Alec is having a chat with Laird Harold.
No. Connor, who is Laird Harold's like Colin, who is...
Yes.
Right-hand man.
He and Colin are having a talk because Colin's like, what can we, like, do? Basically, it doesn't matter. Politics. They're politicking. So all of a sudden, Jamie comes meandering back into the hall. And she comes up and she stands next to her compassionate husband.
Oh.
And he looks at her and she looks pretty pissed off. And at first he's like, oh, it's because she's annoyed that I'm not giving her the time, but this is important. So he ignores her. And then she like taps him on the shoulder. Tap, 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 tap. And he's like, not now. And she's like, I have to speak with you. I have something that you need to take care of. And he was like, not now. Can you handle it yourself? And she's like, yes.
Fine.
And he's like, well, then handle it yourself. And she's like, all right. So she goes to walk out. She gets all the way to the door. And then she turns around and she given that weapons wall a big old look-see.
Oh, yeah. She's perusing.
And so, like, Alec hasn't done anything, but he's kind of, like, keeping an eye, like, what is she doing? And then she goes up to that weapons wall and she grabs a big old fucking club and she struggles to get it off the wall. And then she gets it off the wall and it just big old crash on the ground. Everyone's like, what the fuck? And goes back to, like, she just drags this thing out of that great hall. Yeah. Drags that thing out of that great hall and outside. And they're like, what is happening? And then Alec goes, oh my God, Justin's done something. So he goes running outside and she has a man on the ground and she has bashed in the back of his legs with said club. And he is on the ground and she's like, how dare you? This is so rude. How would you and by the way, all of this is in Gaelic. And so she's like, how dare you? How could you? What are you like? This is so rude. I'm Alec Kincaid's wife and he's the only one who should be touching me and blah, blah, blah.
And I love him with a passion that you're never going to even understand.
Yes. And Father Murdoch, or I think it was either Father Murdoch or Gavin, is like trying to pause her and stop her, and it's like, hey, that's not, and she's like, bah, 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 like getting on his ass. And she's like, Alec has instructed me to take care of this problem. I won't have your interference. I told Justin I'd come back with something to make his knees weak, and I did. And then Alec from behind her goes, he's not Justin. Because guess what?
She's like, of course he is.
Justin has an identical twin brother named Philip.
And she's like, not an identical twin.
Philip did just get his knees knocked out. War number 4, baby.
Wowza. So then she like drops her club and she's like, oh, Philip, I'm so sorry. Let me help you up. And he's like crab crawling away from her because she's a nutter butter. And she's like, oh, just, stop moving. Like I can explain everything to you. And she's like, I didn't, like, I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else. And like Justin came over and he grabbed me and he kissed me. And I was like,
get away from me. And then I told him, he said that my eyes like make his knees weak or something. And that's when she said, let me hold on just a moment. I'll go get something that's going to make your knees weak. And at first she was just going to go get Alec so that he could do a big yell on him, which like, Jamie, that's not what would have happened. Like,
he would have beat the fuck out of Justin.
Yeah, Alec would not have used his words in this situation.
He does go to beat the fuck out of Justin.
Yeah. And so then Philip's like, oh, you didn't mean to hit me? And she's like, no, absolutely not. I meant to hit your brother. And he's like, what? You meant to hit my brother? And so now Philip
This is war!
This is war.
But then Justin rolls up. And we hear about all the stuff like from the like witnesses and things like that. Because reminder, Jamie has been being followed. Alex set a tail on her but he told them to be 10 paces away. So by the time they got to her, they couldn't do anything. And that's when she took matters and clubs into her own hands. and then Justin rolls up and Alec is pissed.
And this is one of my favorite lines in the book because it says like a few minutes later, Jamie found herself in a very weird position. She was, what? Do you have it?
I have that highlighted too. You at same page. I fucking loved this. Keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It was the best. So she's like, she found herself in a very weird position, and that was standing in front of Justin, begging for his life.
So perfect. And she's like, he's just a boy, Alec. It's fine. And then
we don't kill children.
Justin gets all upset. He's like, not a boy. And she's like, you're a boy. Shut up.
Right now. We're not helping yourself.
And then she's like, you can't kill him. You can't be
promise me you won't.
And blah, blah. And Alec is like, fine, I won't. And she's like, oh, thank goodness. So she steps out of the way. And then he does come and grab that Justin boy and chunk him like a caber.
That's right. Like one of those trees that they were talking about at some point. Boy, he throws him around. And then she's like, oh, you told me that you wouldn't kill him. And he goes, I'm not going to kill him, but I am going to beat him to piss. And like he gets like a round of from around her, like all around the crowd.
Because all the crowd's like, they would have been fine with him murdering him.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
And so then like Justin and Philip go gallivanting off and Colin's just standing there watching this whole thing. Colin, Harold's right-hand man. And he's like, all right, Kincaid.
What are your terms?
What are your terms? And Alec's like, you have 1 week. And Colin's like, all right. And gallivants off. And Jamie's like, a week for what? And Alec is like, to allay my, like, to take
to
care
appease
of this,
me.
To appease me. And she's like, or else what? And he's like,
and she's like,
war.
I know, she's like cringing. She's like, don't say it. And he's like, war. And she's like, God damn it.
Yeah, she's like, she knew he was going to say that god awful word. She was still stunned.
So then she's like, and she realizes that while she was yelling at Justin, she started yelling at him in Gaelic.
Yeah.
And so she's like, you ruined my surprise too. And she's so mad. And then he's like, did you mean it, wife? Did you mean what you said? And she's like, yes, I meant it. But like also, like, I had a surprise for you. And she's like getting a little misty. And he's like, it's, I don't know. They're going to like go on with the rest of the day. And she goes, I'm going to go get Mary Kathleen because she just like needs a baby snuggle right now. She's just like she's at her wit's end. She's very tenuous. And like, I want to go get Mary Kathleen.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, she's not staying with us tonight.
Yeah, she's staying with Angus and Elizabeth. And she's like, why? And also, why did I have a tail on me? And he's like, please just don't question me. Just go with it. And she's like, I guess. Well, I'm going to at least go inside for a few minutes alone because she just found out the king's not coming now.
Yeah,
I guess.
so she's like, oh my God, my plan. Like, all of my plan. Because she, like, the whole surprise was that she was going to, in Gaelic, pledge her fealty to King Edgar. And so now she's just all aflutter and she's all upset because the king's not coming and she's wearing the plaid for nothing. The surprise is ruined. He knows she speaks Gaelic and yada yada. So she's like, I'm going inside. And he's like, and she's like, no, don't talk to me.
Don't send anybody after me. I'll club them too.
Yeah. And then she does. She goes gallivanting into that. I'm saying gallivanting a lot. It's just such a word. So she goes gallivanting back into the Great Hall, and there's 4 soldiers in plaids that are not Kincaid standing in there.
I've never seen those plaids before.
Some soldier next to the fireplace waves them off, and they let her through. And then he's like, hello, you seem distraught.
He's like, hey, what's going on with you? What
come talk.
Can I help? And she's like, probably not. I'm a disaster, and I ruin everything, and like everything that's right in England is wrong here, and I don't know what to do. And he's like, okay, slow down.
Tell me about it.
Why don't you tell me? Because like I've got a little bit of sway. I might be able to help.
And she's like, if you knew what shame I've caused the Kincays, why you'd probably weep too. And I've started so many wars I could barely keep count. And it's like, yeah, Jamie, you have started a lot of wars.
Yeah.
And so she just breaks down in front of this gray-haired soldier holding a goblet of wine and a big old hunk of cheese. And I'm like, that's my man. That's my man. Like,
honestly.
I would also be drawn to the silver-haired fox with a goblet of wine and a hunk of cheese.
Just a hunk and cheese. Yeah, and so he's like, tell me about each war, start at the beginning. And so she tells him in detail each and every war she starts. And like, I mean, one of them is like, I'm so sorry I saved your baby. Yeah. Like, McPherson can go fuck himself.
McPherson is a McFuckhead. So,
yeah, absolutely.
There's that war, and then like kidnapping the child, and then there's like a war brewing with Daniel, and she's like, it's okay, I'll just have the king tell Daniel what's what, and that how he should be treating his wife. and this soldier's like,
and he says, what do you think the king would do? And she's like, well, he would set him straight. I think the king would be like, you need to be nice to your wife, and you need to chill out,
get rid of that mistress, and
that's the one. Yeah. And then she's like, and he goes, and why don't you tell me about that kerfuffle outside when I was riding in? She's like, oh, sure. And then she goes, at the end, she's like, yeah, I'm sure your wife would do the exact same thing. I bet she would just brain a man if they came onto her. She says, because a woman only wants to be pawed by her husband. And he says, well, I'm not married. She's like, but if you were. He goes, yes, I do believe my wife would act like that, and I do believe it would be very justified. And then she also tells him about Mary Kathleen, and she's like, and I'm so worried
throwing the plaid on the ground.
Yeah, she's like, I'm so worried that the king's gonna take the side of the other side. And he's like, oh no, there's absolutely no way. The king will definitely be behind you on that one. So all this happens, and she's like, and my surprise is ruined because I was going to do this thing on my knees in Gaelic for the king. And he goes, why don't you do a little practice round?
Before that, though, because I love this part, because so I love this scene so much. He's like, you have complete faith in King Edward then, huh? And she's like, oh, yes. And then he's like, you must have heard wonderful stories about Edgar. And she's like, oh, heavens, no. I heard he was a monster.
It's so good. And he's like, what? And she's like, well, in England, in here. Like in Scotland, I've heard different stuff. He's like, oh, okay. Cool sauce.
And then you're right, because he's like, well, if you want to, like, if you're so worried about, why don't you show me how you would pledge fealty to the king?
And she's like, that sounds a little weird, but I guess the practice wouldn't do me any harm. And so she hits her knees and she starts doing that ish in Gaelic. And then she turns around and Alec has been standing at the door for at least a little while. So she goes away from the soldier and he's like, what does she say? She says like, he says something like something that she said. And then she goes, oh, you heard the whole thing? And he's like, yeah. And Alec has already decided that he is not going to tell Jamie that is in fact King Edward that she was snarfing all over.
And so they do a little bit of I love yous. And then she's like, you mustn't tell the king that I know that's the king.
She goes, the king is a really nice man. And he's like, you knew the whole time? And she goes, do you think that I would have told a king to pay attention to my story?
Oh, yeah, because her rambly back and forth story, he kept asking clarifying questions. He's like, wait, back up. And she's like, if you would just listen, sir, I need you to buckle down and listen to my story. If you're going to ask about what happened, you need to listen to what happened. And like, to be fair, I've read the book and I was still kind of all over the place reading her story. So like, King Edgar was totally in the right, but
he was on point. Cute. Yeah, and then and she goes, no, I figured it out halfway into my pledge.
When I was kneeling. But you mustn't tell him. And he's like, why? And she's like, it'd hurt his feelings. And he's like, why would it? What? And she's like, it's because he's protecting my feelings. We mustn't disappoint him.
We can't disappoint the king. It's so cute. So then, like, something that came from the very beginning of the book that we haven't talked about or thought about comes full circle. And they're like, oh, no, not yet. There's more things that have to happen. I'm so sorry. I almost skipped the entire afternoon.
Oh my God, how dare you? We have one chapter left, which means like roughly 18 plot points.
It's exactly true. And I was just skipping to the epilogue. Nobody would have known who the murderer was.
Oh, I barely remembered there was a murder at this point in the book.
I know.
But yeah, so
she goes walking around.
Yeah, and she's going to go talk to Edith. And then she finds out that Edith and Annie are being sent away.
Yeah.
And she's
They're being sent to like live with other relations.
How the fuck dare? We already discussed this. They are going to be staying and blah, blah, blah.
We're going to be BFFs.
And then, I lost my train of thought.
Oh no. So then she's like, okay, fine. I'm gonna go out. And she decides to like take a minute. And when she's outside, she runs into Gavin. And Gavin's like, what you doing? And why are you all by yourself? And she's like, I mean, if you want to come with me, I'm just going to go lay some flowers on Helena's grave. And so he's like, okay, that's a little weird. And so she's picking flowers on the way and she's asking him again about Helena. And he's like, I don't know. Like, you know, she was obviously just in a lot of pain. She's like, yeah, but did you see the pain? Did you see any signs of anything? And he's like, well, no, but I also didn't know her very well. And, you know, it wasn't really my place to question anything. And then she says, she's like, well, I feel like I need to understand this. And I know this is going to sound weird, but I feel like Helena needs me to understand it.
Well, and she wants to understand it because when Mary Kathleen grows up and starts asking questions, she wants to be able to answer her.
Yep.
And not with just like some bullshit, but with something thoughtful about her mother.
Yeah. Well, and not something that doesn't make sense to her either. Mm-hmm. She doesn't want to just go in with the party line because. So they go to the grave and he's like, there are flowers all over this ish. And she's like, yeah, those are the old flowers I put on. Jeez, Gavin, God. She's like cleaning off all the flowers so that she can put more on. Then it's obvious she's been doing this the whole time. Every time we've seen her picking flowers.
Well, it's sure obvious now that you've told me. now that you made it clear to me that that's why she's been. Yeah, it's super obvious. Where's that bathroom? Like.
Oh my God. So then she's like, no, you know what? Let's go over to that cliff. I want to see where Helena did die. I want to look at it.
So then he's telling her the story about exactly what happened, how she fell over the edge. And then when they got her, there was nothing that could have been done because her back was broken and she died 2 days later. She just went to sleep and she never woke up. And they're all chatting there. They're all chatting. And he's telling her that story. And then...
and then people just start getting bashed in the brain.
With rocks. He gets hit in the head. She gets hit in the face. She is over this ledge, and she remembers just barely that one of the sides is a good place to fall and one of the sides is not. So she grabs Gavin and just flops over the side of this thing to get away from whoever is doing the thing. Mm-hmm. And she hits this thing and she's holding him and like hiding him under the ledge.
Yeah, she like pulls him under the ledge so that she can, keep him there. And then she hears that cackle again. And she's like, Gavin, we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. Like, I'm going to get you help. Gavin is knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then Marcus
shows up. And so he pops his head over and he's like, oh my God, what happened? And she's like, you need to go get people. We got knocked over the thing.
But don't leave.
But don't. Yeah. And so Marcus is like, ah! And goes like shouting to the rafters and people.
So everybody comes out. She passes out.
Mm-hmm. And so she comes back too with Alex standing over her, looking at her, and he looks tormented and
distraught.
He's holding her. He's like, it's going to be okay. I'm going to get you out of here. And she's like, you have to take Gavin out first because he's more hurt and things like that. Yeah. And then she's like, I lost my dagger. And Alex,
well, because, I'm sorry, as they were going over the side, that dagger got thrown and it is in her arm right now.
She doesn't realize it's in her arm, though. She thinks it just got chunked over the side of the ledge. And she's like, I lost my dagger. And Alec is looking at her. Yeah. Dagger in her arm.
Yeah.
And he's like, uh-huh. And then
he rips off a piece of cloth and then he just pulls it out and ties it up real quick. And she's like, no. And he's like, you would have worried about it the whole time had I not just pulled it out. She's like, you're right. So then they get back and she's like, Alec, didn't you say there was a witness to Helena's suicide? And Alec goes, yep, it was Annie. And then end chapter, end scene.
And then this is the moment where I went,
and I went,
This is the moment where I went, oh, it was Annie.
I love it so much. Oh my God. So basically, she's like, also, now I realize that the fire situation was an attempted murder. And they're like, who told you that? And she's like, nobody told me that. I just
the laugh.
Yeah, the laugh that I thought was like the wind making weird noises. It was definitely the same laugh, and I was definitely being attempted murdered again. So I figured they were probably related, you know? Anyway, that's what happened. Annie was pissed off because she was betrothed to him and Helena took her place. And so she killed Helena to try and become the Laird's wife at some point, maybe. Or maybe not.
And then when Jamie showed up, she was like, okay, well, I guess I got to kill another. Like, I'm going to eventually, so what she said is, I'll be your wife. I will, no matter how long it takes me. Helena took you away from me. I challenged you then, Alec, and I'll challenge you again. And Annie is just dead set. She's like, this is my right to be your wife.
Uh-huh. And it's not, Annie, I hate to tell you this, but it's probably the noose
Sweetie
for
heart.
you.
Sweetie heart, babe. Yeah, this is not
I don't really know a ton about it, but. So anyway, that is now solved. They get better. Does anything else happen that's important?
So this is the point I would like to say. This is the point reading this book where we're 332 pages in out of 344 pages. The murder is solved. The shenanigans, saw all of these things, and I was like, this is the end. How is there going to be more in 12 pages? And I was wrong.
There's an entire invasion in 12 pages. So one of the things
we also learn like Jamie learns that Edith and Annie are not actually going anywhere. Edith is staying. She's super happy about that, and yay, that's awesome. But then it's just fucktown for a week. Literally, there's just a page where it's all they did was spend time in bed because she's healing from the dagger wound and all of these things.
And then somebody calls in a debt. So early on in the book, she was betrothed to this other baron or whatever. And there was that whole tiny plot point in which her dad did take coins from the baron that was not to sell her to him, but was absolutely alone. He keeps telling her.
Andrew.
And so Andrew is coming to get her, and it's war. It's the 5th war now, I believe. And she's like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? And she decides, so she talks to Mary. Mary's like, he's been marching through Scotland to get to the Highlands for days and days and days. So he's a coming, and he's got his whole, platoon or whatever the fuck with him. And so she's like, you know what? I can fix this. I can just go talk to him. I can fix this. So she gets on her horse. And she's like, okay, he said up was house, down is England. I bet he's coming from the England side. So she goes,
good job.
Great job, Jamie. Great job. Good start. So she fucks off. And then Alec finds out that she fucks off. And he's like, oh, fuck sticks. So then he gets all his dudes. And he's like, we're going to take care of this. But first we have to go get that bitch. So they like follow her tracks or whatever. And she's going well for a while, but then she does like hang a rocco, or something at the wrong turn. And they're like, where is she going? Does she know like a secret place that Andrew's going to be? And he's like, no, she's lost. So they do find her. And then all of them, him, her, Gavin, Marcus, all their boys, they go a riding to like meet up with Andrew. And so Andrew's on the field and they're on the field. And then out of the fucking mist, a bunch of Highlanders just come out of all like the trees and the woods. Everybody's in different plaids. It's all the lairds of all the Highlands. And so Andrew's like, yeah, I paid for that bitch. Give her to me.
And
or
Alec
like, give me repayment.
No.
And Alec is about to give him his whole ass sword, which has like a metric fuck ton of jewels in it.
It's the original sword. It's that one. It's that big bad sword where, which is the one from when Jamie was like, "You have a sword." Yeah,
absolutely,
give it away.
Because she's like, you don't have you don't use coins in Scotland. Yeah, I know that now. I did find that out recently.
And she does still pay for the indulgences, though. Absolutely. It is noted that she is still giving Father Murdoch her magically reappearing shillings for all of Alec's not her own indulgences. Alex,
no, fuck her soul. Yeah, it's all for Alec. So he's like, okay, fine. I won't give away my whole sword, but I will pop one of these rubies out or whatever.
And then he does do a chunk.
Yeah, he throws it at Andrew's feet.
And
he's
hits like, him. Doesn't he hit him with it?
Yeah, I think he hits him in the face.
Because that's what starts this whole thing off. So he hits Andrew in the side of the head with this fucking gigantic stone.
And he says, repayment for Lady Kincaid or something like that. And then all of a sudden, another Highlander chucks something. And he's like, repayment for Lady Kincaid.
And now it's just stones coming out of like everywhere.
And now they're like old style stoning him almost with all of these rubies and emeralds.
Like, what the fuck is happening? And it turns out Laird McPherson is here to repay because she saved his son's life. Daniel's repaying because she placed herself in front of his wife to protect her. And Harold... because she took his son's insult and then saved her son or saved his son from being attackulated by Alec. And then Lindsay, if you remember the small boy with the boar, Lindsay's dad is there because of the boar. And of course, nobody knew about the boar. And so she's like, wait, you know about the boar? And he's like, we know about the boar.
Yeah, I found out about the boar.
And then there's somebody Laird Duncan, because his wife, he's like prepaying for future aid because his wife is pregnant.
She's gonna have a baby at some point.
Yeah, and so he wants her to be there for the birthing. So they're like prepaying. This is like and it's just so cute. And they're all like doing this. And she's like, do I thank them? And he's just like, no, they're thanking you. Each of these would give his life for you. And you've done the impossible, love. You've actually united the clans.
I'm dying, Julie Garwood, I'm dying. And then it's so cute because she's like, you have made Andrew a really rich man, because Andrew's just like on his knees picking up all these stones like a greedy golem. And he goes, oh no, lass, I've got the treasure right here. Anyway.
Oh, good. It's so
fantastic.
Good. And then so this is like the end of that, and all of that's the end of that. And then there's one of the very, very last line of the book really hit me, because it says, there was joy in the learning. She still didn't understand most of the odd habits of the Highlanders. Guessed it would take her a good 20 or 30 years before she truly did comprehend them. There was joy in the learning, though. Such incredible joy and love. Perhaps, she thought with a secret smile, when she and Alec had grown old together, perhaps then she might just settle in. And I had a lot of feelings. Because, like, that's been the whole thing over the book. It's fine. She'll settle in. She'll settle in. She'll settle in. Mm-hmm. And she's like,
maybe someday.
After we've grown old together.
It's going to take me a really long time because I really love learning about them. It's so good.
I loved this book.
I love this book. And I know it's problematic.
Oh, absolutely.
Places.
So one of those things where, like, you can enjoy a problematic media as long as you recognize,
address it,
and acknowledge that it is, in fact, problematic. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't make the whole thing trash.
Right.
And this is a pretty much, I feel like most old historicals are like that. Yeah. All of the ones that I've read, like,
I mean, this one's mild. Like, Fires of Winter, I'm so sorry, is actual trash that should go in a garbage fire.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
There's a line. There is a line where it is acceptable, and there's a line where it is not. This one,
Gentle
acceptable.
Rogue is amazing. Fires of Winter should never be read again. That's my
fair enough.
My honest
I've not
opinion.
read Fires of Winter.
Don't.
I won't.
It's a big trigger town. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
It's not great.
Like this one, it was really, like I said, I went into this with a open heart and a wary mind. And I'm glad that I did. Because if I was going in fully already deciding that this book was trash because it's written in 1989 or published in 1989 and fully deciding that it's going to be nothing but problem, like, because if I really sat down and nitpicked, we could have easily made this set of episodes all about how problematic things were.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm jaded or whatever from books like Fires of Winter, but it was problematic. But
we would have had to spin it for it to be nothing but a problematic book, because there are so many good things about this book. Like we could have done that episode, but it wouldn't have brought either of us joy. Nobody would have wanted to listen to it.
It wouldn't have been honest.
True, because the book was good.
It was a good book. Book was good.
It was delightful. And like I'm not in a historical mood right now, but I will be going back probably because now I trust Julie Garwood.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
So like that's one of the things where if a writer, especially one that writes in times where it was very, very common for books to be super problematic in whatever way, because you know every not generation, but like every time period of romance has its own set of like, oh, well, it's going to be problematic in this way, or it's going to be problematic in you know what I mean?
Because it reflects culture. Yeah.
And if I am willing to read more books from those time periods, if I find an author that I trust. So like Beverly Jenkins, I'll read her old stuff. I trust Beverly Jenkins. And now after this book, like, if the next book I read by her is an absolute dumpster fire, then I'll have to rethink that. But just based on this book, I trust her to do right by me.
Totally.
And so I will be checking her out again.
I love it. Yay. Oh my gosh. Wow. This was so much fun. Thank you for talking about this for 6 hours with me.
Thank you for chatting with me about it first. I did not expect it to be a 3-episode.
Me neither.
You are literally the person, aside from my coworkers, who I am paid to go talk to 5 days a week. You're the person I have talked to the most this week. Whether it be over phone or over text message. So how does it feel to be my number one best friend for this week?
Honestly, it feels incredible. Would recommend. 10 out of 10. We'll be back.
Right back at you, babe.
Yeah. Oh, yay.
Man. By the way, I have one more comment.
Tell me everything.
There was so much. I am just angry all over again when I reread today. There's so much sequel bait in this book for a book on Daniel and Mary fixing their marriage. And I'm just endlessly
I don't know that it exists.
Upset that I don't think it exists.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, and I'm fucking pissed about it.
I went creeping through some of her back catalog, and I did not find it. And
Big mad.
So much sequel bait, because there was a tiny scene at the end where she's like, you should let him keep the mistress, and then
tell him to keep the mistress.
Let him know what he's missing. And I'm like,
well, no. She says, no, it's even better than that. She says, you know what you do? You tell him, you go ahead and keep your mistress. It's clear that you need more practice. And so as soon as you feel like you have practiced to the point that you are worthy of sexing this up, then you can come back and we can chat about it again. And apparently Mary was gone for 2 days after that. She did not see her sister for 2 days. Uh-huh. And then Mary came back with all the tales about how incredible Daniel was.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like Mistress is gone. So, wow, would have loved that book, Julie.
Yeah.
You could have redeemed Mary.
Dear Julie.
Hello, Julie Garwood.
I know that it's 34 years later.
Hello, Julie. We still believe in you.
We want that book. I know you write suspense, thriller, romance now, but I don't actually know that. Somebody told me that. I'm taking their word for it. But just one last trip would be really nice.
Just come to the Highlands again, you know?
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to us, hearing us out. And we will be happy with whatever decision you make. Thank you so much, Julie Garwood.
We will. Whenever that book comes out, we will come back and do an episode on that book.
Absolutely.
I am simply guest, but I have decided.
No, you can. No, you're hereby in charge of the programming here at Heaving Bosoms, Sabrina. This is a great idea.
All right. Well.
Yeah. All right. I adore you. What's my lady love? I had one earlier that was really good, and it was about something that was like broken, but I can't remember what it was, and I'm going to be really fucking pissed at myself as soon as I remember it. That's why I need to write them down. Anyway, the lady love that I'm very late to the party. We were just talking to my friend Hector about how I'm like the oldest millennial ever, not only because I'm an old millennial, but because I grew up so rural that like I didn't have access to even millennial technology until way later in my life than most other people my age. So I'm late to the party, but I also just moved, right? So I moved to a different library area, and the library where I live now is like light years more advanced and interactive and like awesome than my poor library in my old town. And so as a result, I have discovered audiobooks on Hoopla. I heard everybody talking about it. Okay, I heard you, and I was like, that must be nice. I wonder what that's like. I'll never know. But boy, I have started checking some shit out from my library, and like my whole plan, driving from here to DC for a Polycon is audiobooks on my car stereo. I'm so excited about it. So yeah, if you're an old millennial, if you're basically a Gen Xer, whether or not you just turned 36, check out those audiobooks on Hoopla, and maybe even an Overstock. No, Overdrive. Yeah. I also got and Libby.
So I'm just going to sit here in envy because my library does not have Hoopla. I live in rural Arkansas. I do have Libby. I listen to a lot of audiobooks on Libby, and I'm also on Scribed. Like I'm subscribed to Scribed, but like everyone's like, "Oh, just get Hoopla," and I'm like,
"Yeah, I don't have it."
Thanks for the advice.
One thing I did hear, I don't know if this is like super helpful, because I did hear that you can like pay for a non-residential card for something like the Brooklyn Library, and then get Hoopla into that.
They stopped doing it through.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the Brooklyn Library. They stopped like end of last year or something like that.
We've got library friends.
Hey, library friends. Constantly on the lookout because I want access to Hoopla so bad.
Hey, librarians, there are a metric fuck ton of you in the listenership, and we cherish you. If you know a way that Sabrina and other rural HBs can get Hoopla through a different library, please
I'll pay for it.
heavingbosoms@gmail.com, and I will blast it to the world so that we can get more HBs on Hoopla. Anyway.
That's a great lady love, though, because, like, I know Hoopla has, like, a crazy good not back catalog, but, like, a crazy good catalog for...
It's bananas.
Yeah.
It's bananas. I've never listened to a Ruby Dixon audiobook before because I find them so quick. Yeah, but I find, like, her so engrossing that, like, I don't need an audiobook. I'm always just like, no, I'll let my children starve. I will let the house fall down. I'm just eyeball reading this until I'm done. And there's not a lot of authors that do that for me. But now I can do a Ruby Dixon Dragon Town or a Ruby Dixon other stuff.
Oh, can I tell you, this is just a little based on audiobooks. If you have not, I know that you read Soul Eater for Bonkers. The audiobook came out in February, and they've been coming out every month.
Are they so good?
Then. So fucking... I got Audible.
Yeah.
For Soul Eater, and I have zero regrets.
Whoa.
So good.
That's huge.
Because there are books where, like, not an author. Well, there are books where an author makes or breaks it, but I'm not reading those breaks it books.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there are books where, like, a narrator makes it or breaks it. And Michael Lindsay is the narrator, and he does such a good fucking job. It's just reawakened, like, all of my delight for...
I love those books. I went on a rabbit hole, like, actually just last month. I talked about it on a Bonkers episode, the most recent Bonkers episode, because I went deep into a Lily Bane, and I'm very excited that there are audiobooks now.
Have you read Lore?
No, I haven't read Lore yet.
Oh!
Because it fairly recently came out, right?
Yeah. Okay, when you read Lore, I need you just live message me as you have feelings. Like, actually, any.
And then maybe
honestly,
we should
any book. You can live send me anything about any books, but especially Lore, because it was my first 5-star of this year. It was, if you like world building.
Oh. Yeah, because it goes into that monster realm. You know what we should do?
It explains so much.
If you want to, we should recap it for Patreon.
I'd be so down for that. I'll have to reread it. Oh no!
Oh shoot!
Oh no!
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a rereader, but I would absolutely reread Lore if you wanted to do a Patreon. I would totally.
That would be so fun. Yeah, because I need to read it anyway. So if I give myself, that's one of the things, right? Like one of the bad things about the podcast is that sometimes it does feel like required reading. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, the much heavier side of the scale is that the podcast is a really good excuse to, like, hard schedule time with book people that I love to read and also talk about it. You know what I mean? Because I find I get so much more out of the books that I can discuss, like, you know, face to face with someone than I do with books I'm just, like, inhaling.
Like, if we're doing that, I just might do a reread of this series. Do you just want to do, like, a gigantic... We'll just read all of them and we'll discuss the world and everything about it. Like,
Sabrina, I'm
not opposed to that. I fucking love that series.
Ma'am, if you want to do a whole Patreon series on the monstrous Schmurgle, I will do it.
Especially
happily, easily, whenever.
Especially because all of the short stories are coming out as a novel this year. Every short story. So we could literally read the book and then read like everything in order of when it happens in the...
Oh my God. I would lose my mind. So yes,
we will discuss. That. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
My lady love. I think it's the Monstrous series, maybe. Or...
that, yeah.
No, I'm sorry, everyone. Sabrina just told me before we started recording that she has read 6 books since the last time I spoke to her on Friday. It is Sunday. The fuck?
I read 3.5 of them yesterday, and then I read, or actually it may have only been 5 books. I don't know. It was 5 or 6.
Only 5.
All I know is I'm more than halfway. I had read the first book in the Zion Warriors series as of Friday afternoon. Right. And I am now on the 6th. I'm like halfway through the 6th book as of starting this podcast episode today. So it's like 5-ish, 5.5.
I love it.
So my lady love is inspired by the Zion Warriors series by Regine Abel, who is one of my one-click authors. If you have not read the I Married a Blank series, you are missing out.
Oh, yeah.
It is so light and fluffy, but my lady love is something that Regine Abel and Susan Trombley, also, both of them, those are my 2 number 1 for this specific lady love. If you like a enormous overarching plot that is built on in every book and like worked like just a space opera. If you like a space opera that is not on a single world and in fact is an entire, like it involves an entire galaxy and like there's like galactic politics and also fucking incredible love stories and just if you like a space opera where they don't die in the end.
Holy shit.
That's my lady love is space operas. And it's so hard to find exactly what I'm talking about when I'm looking for things. Because what I want is I want a giant overarching plot. There are plenty of books where like I enjoy the series a lot, Alien series is where I really enjoy the series. But it's very much like snippets of the world. It's like they affect the next book a little bit, but it's not like a huge thing.
Not make
and
or
there
break.
Is yeah, exactly. Or like a good example of that would be like there's a series a good example is the Kraken series by Tiffany Roberts, right? So like love that series. It's got like just the right amount of like alienness that I'm looking for, but it's all on one planet, which is fine. But each book is kind of like it affects the previous books are referenced in the next books, like things that have happened, but it's not like this ongoing outside plot that is overarching everything. And the Zion Warrior series is just reminding me how much I fucking love that, and there's not enough of that out there.
Oh my gosh!
It's so good.
And what's the one that Susan Trombley does?
She does the like her whole universe basically, like all of her books reference, like there are little Easter eggs in them. So like she has an apocalyptic series set in a different universe, but in that universe there are things that are referenced that touch on the Iridian universe. And so it's like the first book I think is called The Scorpion. Yeah, it's The Scorpion's Mate. You've probably seen it because when people are recommending things, because when people ask for like, I want an alien that actually looks like an alien, isn't just like a green or humanoid. A blue or gold humanoid or something. And boy howdy, that's an alien. There's also there's cum as food in that book, so if that's your thing, it's not super easy to find. Like you can live on
a
cum.
Yeah.
And but that whole series,
balanced meal,
like so fucking good, and it's darker, which like I tend to like my space operas. I mean, usually the space operas are a little bit darker, you know, because they're dealing with like intergalactic slavery and like war and things like that. But it's just so. It is so good. Susan Trombley is a recent author to me, and she is I started reading her books in the end of December of this past year, and I finished her entire back catalog in 23 days. It's like 28 books. I could not stop. I started reading The Scorpion's Mate, and I just didn't stop.
And you housed them.
I did. They were so good. She is immediately like a one-click author. But anyway, so that is my lady love, is gigantic overarching space opera plots. And if anybody is interested in that, Susan Trombley has that shit on point, and so does Regine Abel. And just And again, if you also a really good example. It's not so much like space opera experiences, but like Ella Maven, her Alien series also like goes off world and stuff like that, which I really like because like I like it when they spend time on like different planets and things like that. So like Ella Maven, Presley Hall. I'm just gonna sit here and like throw authors at y'all.
I love it.
Aliens are my thing. So like, if you're ever looking for an alien book, hit me up.
Sabrina is your source.
I love an alien.
She will get you what you need.
Sci-fi is my absolute favorite.
I love it. I love it. All right.
Okay.
Let me see. Do you want to tell them where they can find you? We haven't done that yet.
Okay. So, yeah, you can find me. I'm on Instagram kind of sporadically. That's probably the best place to find me if you're looking for like booky stuff. Well, that's not true. You can find me in the cult. I'm one of your mods.
Yeah.
Hi, friends.
Yeah.
Sabrina B here. So you can find me in the cult. And then, is it okay if I...
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I did this.
Me and 3 of my good friends, best friends, are starting a podcast. It's a romance podcast, and it is reading challenge / like prompts based. And basically what we do is come together and talk prompts and books that
fit those prompts.
Books that fit those prompts. A lot of recommendations, and it's not out yet, but it is called The Busy Romnivores, and we're super excited. So feel free to come check it out. We do have a site, and so our website is thebusyromnivores.com. Right now, it just says coming soon because all of that we're still working on that, but we have started talking a bit on our Instagram, so feel free to come say hi if you want to hear me talk and squee about books some more.
Yeah, and I can link all of that in the show notes if you send it to me.
Yeah, I will, absolutely.
Yeah. Hell yeah!
I have a podcast.
You said it out loud in public.
This is going out to the world. It's freaking me out a little bit. I did a terrible job describing what the podcast is going to be, but that's fine.
You didn't. No, you're the queen of challenges, and that's why like this format especially is perfect for you and the rest of your pals. It sounds amazing. I'm so excited to listen.
Excited. Yeah.
And like you're gonna make everybody's TBRs just like fall over,
explode
to the ground.
Oh, but that reminds me though, TBRs exploding. HBs. If any of you have a space opera recommendation,
I was just about,
please email
heavingbosoms@gmail.com. Send us space operas and I will make sure that Sabrina gets it.
Yes, please. Yeah, I was like, I don't actually know what I saved y'all's email to my email like years ago. So I don't actually know. Please, love a space opera. Okay.
All right. Keep being a badass. And love yourself.
As much as you love... that was fucked up. Never mind, I'm not saying that one.
What did we say that was funny?
Oh
my God. Wait, no. Love yourself as much as you love losing your way in a bathroom and not handling any kind of height.
Why is last episode's Lady Love and this one so me specific?
I mean, because you're a goddess. I don't know. What do you want?
You're a goddess. Love yourself as much as you love taking yourself to a trampoline park because you had to adult at your kid's birthday party.
Yes. Do it. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Next week, we'll be back with more silliness. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomespodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you next week.